Is that right?
I can't get on.
I can't get mine to open.
Alright, we've had enough 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Alright,
I'll just.
time's now 6:30. Call the meeting to order. First order of business, minutes of previous meeting, June 27th, 2019. Questions or motion?
Second.
Approved, seconded. Any questions, comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry. No problem. You guys are multitasking, I get it.
Yeah. Keep going to the next section.
Yeah, we need it.
Okay.
Agenda item 3, immediate business, public comments. Members of the public? No? Agenda,
Yeah, we just have to change number 9. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 6 items. That's it.
gifts and donations, principals, if you will. Okay. That's nothing. Board goal review. Has everyone seen this? I probably should have used this a little bit earlier than I did.
Doesn't matter, I can't get anything, so.
Where is it?
Yes.
I actually made copies.
Oh,
Good, thank you.
I was reading this before, now I can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Thank you.
Maybe everyone remembers.
You don't happen to have an extra agenda, do you?
I got it.
Okay. Oh, thanks. And I'll be fine, I'll just kind of.
Yeah, remind me at the end, I can stay for.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you can't get it. Everything I touch, I can't get it.
These are definitely draft. I did my best to capture your thoughts at the first round, so I'm sure there needs to be edits.
Do we want to take any action on these? We want to spend a couple of weeks reviewing these, if they don't know policy.
I was gonna say, since not all of it's here,
Coming out back out on the 20th.
yeah, as long as there's no pushback that we've taken so long to approve these. That happened before. And I think that we have legitimate reasons not to approve them tonight. So minus the pushback.
Send your comments to
Yeah,
Patty.
you have comments, right?
Review them, send them to
Yep.
Patty,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll tackle it next time.
Okay.
Okay. Bus routes. Motion to approve the bus routes as presented on the drive.
Motion to, move to accept.
And second.
Second.
Discussion on the bus route.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. I promised Dan we can talk about bus routes. So I'm only gonna give one question. But I noticed on bus routes that in some cases, when we drop off and when we pick up are not consistent, and I'm wondering if there's a reason for that. Assuming that one school starts before the other, we're not dropping off and picking them up we're not doing that with all buses in a consistent way. So that some buses drop off at Hill first and then go to Three Rivers. Some buses go to pick up at Three Rivers first and not Hill. So I'm just kind of.
I seem to remember them having a conversation about staggering the buses. I think it was done intentionally, but I don't know if the conversation.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask about it?
I agree. I think we kind of talked about this in the past year, and I think that was the general answer. They're trying to keep the congestion to a minimum.
Okay, but if the kids get out at different times, which I'm assuming they are based on the drop-off time, doesn't seem like that would be that big an issue instead of kids being outside in the cold or in the rain waiting for buses. So which do we prefer, I guess? And that was just something as I was reviewing in 2 hours ago that kind of hit me.
Can we ask Nancy what the morning looks like?
Absolutely.
So all the kids are coming into classrooms when they get dropped off.
So they're not outside.
Yeah, there's
You
more.
think there's a morning recess?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
either outside or depending on whether they go into the gym and the cafeteria.
Inclement
In
weather,
the year
we used to
past.
come in to the bigger area usage stuff in bad weather and then go out for like, if it was snowing.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions or comments?
I was just trying to, just to clarify what Pat was saying, you were asking why don't they stagger them, or?
No, it seems like that they are staggered, like, on some buses,
I
kids
was trying
are
to
dropped off. I would have assumed that
Oh, okay, yeah.
if Three Rivers has the earlier start, that everybody is dropped off at Three Rivers first, and then they go to Hill.
Gotcha.
But it's not like that.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
It is staggered, which is what confused me. But it, you know, what Sandy said makes sense, if we're, and where we're combining two schools and, you know, if everybody's going inside.
This is definitely going to be a year of watching and observing how different things
Sure.
work, for sure.
Anything else? All those in favor of approving the bus routes?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item 14, business board reports, no PA Senate. So you want that?
No, nothing until, yeah, what is it? Yeah, I thought we did.
I don't think we do.
Okay, then. I don't have one for one.
Okay. I'm assuming no budget committee report? Correct.
Haven't heard anything about the meeting starting up, I haven't heard anything from Sean, so I reached out to Eric or somebody.
For a while.
Yeah.
Really got out over,
Probably October.
Yeah.
CIP stuff?
Yeah.
CIP.
Last week, tomorrow night, or second.
How's it going?
That's good, it's, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I've been to a few, they're interesting, see what's going on around town.
We did, safety complex last week, and this week we're at, Public Works and, the Recreation Department. So, and cemetery, don't forget the cemetery.
So nothing really to report.
No, fire department had nothing. Literally nothing, like small equipment, and only maybe then, they just bought, you know, $600,000 fire truck last year, so. And PD, they do like, you know, small equipment stuff, and also.
Who's
they-
the regular year or something?
Yeah,
One, 2 1 year, one the next.
Yeah, 2-1, yeah,
They're just keeping up with that.
yeah, it's yours too, so.
All right. Case report, people down here, know anything? They in the building?
I was gonna say, they moved you.
I believe so, we have a ribbon cutting, ceremony on. The ribbon cutting ceremony, I think is that date.
Is that during the day?
I believe,
Yep.
I have it.
Your address is?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, River, yeah,
Yeah.
it is that's their 716 Riverwood, so.
Then the old motorcycle club.
Yeah.
Principal's report. Here, nothing.
Yeah, I think we're all great.
Village Young Move update.
So on the Village M, we're in the process of decommissioning the building. We removed the playground equipment and brought some of it with us to the Hill School. We have turned off the water, we shut off the gas, we've turned off most of the breakers in the building, we've left lights on, for safety reasons and for the realtors to show clients around. And we've left the server in place to control our security cameras. Other than that, it's all coming off slowly but surely. We did cone off and rope off the big parking lot, so we do not, to restrict people from coming and going. We left the side one open again for us and for realtors. But the cones kind of say, if you're going past that, you're probably not in a good position. So we relayed all that with the town PD and the town fire department, and we're all on good terms on that.
Is there any plans to fence that property off, or we're just gonna leave it just the way it is?
For the time being, just the way it is.
It's just, what I was down there the other day, it looks like a sitting duck with a bunch of kids, but I don't think you're gonna be, I mean, you can put a fence up somewhere, you know. Someone's
I think even more
there,
so, that would be even more of a draw, because I'm betting, I mean, people know it's closing, but I'm betting the kids don't have that full awareness yet, so.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, you put fence up, I think you bring attention to it. Your question?
Just a comment, is it worth putting up, no trespass? Like, is there any extra legal protection?
It wouldn't hurt. I've thought about it, I just haven't acted on that, and that wouldn't hurt, to be honest with you.
Still fully insured, right?
We're fully insured to a degree, and that part I haven't gotten to in the summer. So fully insured as we're going forward, but at some point that insurance is gonna come down a little bit, because we are active, and we just haven't gotten to that part.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, it's one of the things, I mean, winter's gonna come and someone's gonna wanna slide down that hill, just.
Yep.
How
Which
we.
is why I say,
Yeah.
trespassing signs, at least if we have that warning up there.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution there is, I mean, Tom, you wanna take it over, this is part of the ramifications of that decision.
Somebody's gonna slide down that hill, all we can do is protect ourselves.
Yeah,
For them not to.
Yeah.
And part of that's restricting their access to get there.
Yep.
Making trips, frequent trips down there, and as well, the police are taking very good care of us as well, and making extra trips throughout that area. With that is one reason why we left the security cameras on, so. The other thing with the village is the contents have been completely moved out. The building is completely empty, except for the gymnasium, which has our overflow of furniture, and equipment that didn't make the move. So you go room to room in that building, including down in the basement, and there's nothing in
Gone?
here. Yep.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I'd be happy to open it up for you guys. So that's the village, in a nutshell. The hill, again, the contents have been moved up there, the playground has been moved up there. We still have the playground closed as we're working on spreading the playground chips. And we need to get those to a proper depth before we can officially say the playground is open. And that specifically comes when you're moving equipment, you have to build your base, which is about 12 inches compacted, which is a lot of chips. So we're working on getting that part done. We've set the modular. We have our contractors in and out. The electricians are on site. The general contractor building the stairs and the ramps is on site. The fire alarm company is on site. The data, phone, communications contractor is on site. Our plumber will be on site next week to tie into the sewer and to the water. And we hope to open that building up maybe by the end of the week to allow the staff to start getting some of their stuff in there. Other than that, we have a significant amount of staff up there who are working in their rooms, who have all been great, and without their help, this wouldn't be possible. So that's kind of where we're at with those buildings.
Okay. Questions from us?
Sounds terrific. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can add that, I did hear from Brenda from Compass Commercial, and she's been pleasantly surprised about the number of inquiries she's had, about the property, and said that, not yet, but at some point they may talk to us about whether or not we wanna shorten the bid, time, so we may not, I think it's 60 weeks. We may be able to shorten that window when we go to bid, if someone comes along and has an offer, we may not want them to wait. We don't know that, but she did just throw that out as an idea that may be something we should think about, so. Should be,
And if she's saying that,
yeah,
that would kind of
seems
indicate,
like.
yeah, that's not a random comment.
Yeah, so, it's great that people are showing up.
So just to piggyback what Patty just said, I can confirm we had our first showing of the property today.
Oh,
So,
great.
Plural.
Plural.
There's more to come this week. We've given them access to come and go, so as of today, there is movement in that building.
Excellent.
Hopefully something comes
I
to that.
have one question. Sure, go ahead.
Just curiosity, anything, I know there's always little things, anything out of the ordinary, unexpected with either closing village or moving things up there yet, or fairly smooth?
We had a little bit of a delay, with our plans for the modular with the state fire marshal who oversees the modular program. So there was a slight delay in that before we got our official approval to set the building. But we believe, and know we've worked past that. And the last thing I had to submit to and I submitted it today, was our fire alarm, submittals for that part of the process. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done with the state fire marshals, but again, I have to wait for him to say I can occupy that building before I can let the staff come in. That's the biggest delay. Other than that, everything's been pretty good, except for, contractors. Sometimes they tell you they'll be there on Monday and they show up on Tuesday.
Tuesday even?
Following.
Friday noon time, work for half a day?
Go home, yeah. While we're on the subject, Patty and I have been working back and forth with Jeff Keeler regarding the brownfields. There's some brownfield money available to do a site assessment on the property, free money, wouldn't cost us anything. The original discussion that we had was to do essentially phase one, which essentially is a record review, they walk through the building. That would be about it, they read it before, they do a little bit of research. When we finally got the contract, is that what that was? Proposal that we got, it included digging some holes, taking some samples and things like that, and we said, we're not comfortable signing on. We originally just threw us, we're gonna sign off on it. We said, no, we're not comfortable signing off on that, so they're gonna be here on the 20th, provide us with some more information before we move forward. But there's no, it's not costing us anything, and it's something else we have in our back pocket that we can show these fellows to buyers and say, we had it done, we know that these are the issues that we found anyway.
The one thing that I was talking about, village too, and the sale of it, at CIP, I'm trying to remember who's made it. Cash was one of the ones that they were talking about as a potential.
Right.
And I don't know if it's Jerry or not. I guess he's familiar with them too, wasn't responsible with two ponds.
Yeah,
As far as that goes.
Spoken to Jerry at another venue, and I kind of had the same vibe, that I don't think he was really major objection, but his feeling on them wasn't warm and fuzzy either.
Yeah, so I'll get to him more tomorrow. I'm gonna have to talk to him, ask him what his opinion actually is.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're gonna buy the property, they're buying the property.
Yeah.
That's,
Well,
our concern is not with their business,
Yeah, I get that.
Exactly.
It was, my feeling is, the whole being a good neighbor thing, that's
Do you
why.
want to talk about this in the?
no, I was just,
Yeah, we may need to.
So,
that's fine, do that.
Okay.
Alright.
alright.
Yeah,
Well,
because I think we need to put something separate.
Okay.
I can just speak quickly, if you don't mind.
Nope, fine, don't know mine.
So ADA, we put that on there, in order to delete it, because it's school board goals from 2007, 2008. Your goals don't need to be a policy, but for some reason there was a policy, so we now have the capability to post them everywhere electronically for people to see, so they don't need to be a school board policy.
Do you want to take action on that? Get it done with?
It's first reading, so let's do that.
Get it off the list, guys, I mean, we're gonna,
If you're okay deleting it, all right, want to do a motion?
take a motion to delete ADA.
I motion we delete ADA board goals.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Hey, we got one off there.
Perfect. DAF, we're still working on, that was that packet, but the grant packet that is a policy that is probably 12 pages long and very difficult to read. Amber's still working with us on updating that language, so that's just for you to be aware that we need it, per the, DOE audit, but it's certainly cumbersome. The meal charge policy is, we can wait on the others, I think, it would be safe to say. The high school credit, I think we can wait, probably for next week as well. We want one straight there.
Would be nice trying to bid these off before we start down the road with budget or anything else, so.
I think the high school credit, that's not maybe before we start
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
There is,
Probably the meal charge too.
And
there's
meal
one
charge.
that's fairly easy, if you wanted to do it tonight, the rate of pay for
Pay for
substitutes,
substitutes,
yeah.
yeah.
We have to get rid, your policy was like allowing 20 days before they're certified, and that's no longer, it should be school board association policy, and I mentioned before that it would be, just adding the word executive, so the executive board is gonna set the rate for all these kids, so. That was nice, pretty simple.
Well, that was to make it consistent and to simplify.
That's right, we're
Because the
hiring through the
school,
FAU,
right.
all of us.
Right. I mean, folks can make their preferences known,
Yeah.
but if it's all streamlined, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
All right. Any questions, comments? TCTA. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Agenda item 6, information items.
No, I had the note to mention the brownfield, but you did that.
Okay.
That was it, yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Informational stuff? Public comments? Still nobody? Non-public? Ian?
Okay, great. I have started reaching out to the members of the committee to look at the expansion of the school. And so far have been unable to find a date that works for, it's only like 5 people. But, you know, how that typically goes, is those are the people that are involved in the community, and some are on CIP, and someone's on fire drum and has training on Tuesdays and stuff like that. So I'm working on that. I would like to get it going sooner rather than later, but scheduling has been an issue so far.
One question too, the Allentown situation?
I showed up to the meeting. I did, and I waited 20 minutes and couldn't get into the building. And then finally went home, checked my mail, and at 4:30, a message went out saying it was canceled. I was scared.
Really?
And John was prepared to come, we were at a, leadership retreat, and he was gonna drive all the way back and give the tour to the group.
Right.
And, luckily, saw that I was intending to be there when he saw that it was canceled, so.
Yeah.
Just before the meeting, yeah, and it hasn't been rescheduled.
And it has not been rescheduled, no. But they seem to be having.
Is there some issues?
Well, apparently there are, and I didn't know this when we started, but apparently there were 2 committees. So you have dueling committees. One committee is looking to explore middle school options, through Pembroke. The other committee is looking at brand new building. And it sounds like the committee that's looking for the brand new building, for a variety of reasons, and probably not all of them honorable, has more traction. Which, you know, could be a real genuine concern about replacing the building, or it could be a stall tactic.
And that doesn't help the short term.
Doesn't really matter to us.
Exactly.
Which is a good position to be in. Yeah, exactly.
But unfortunately, the folks who did show that I did meet with the first time, never thought in terms of, I mean, having gone to the review and listening to everything that Andy said, it was kind of like, okay, it's all staff. And I just kind of threw out there, how do you sell a building that you can't access? And I thought they were gonna cry. When they realized that you cannot access that building without going to church property. there is no egress to the street. And it's, you know, I think that was a, you know, that really created it.
I got a couple more questions for Josh.
Okay.
If you can humor me. Is the survey done?
The survey isn't done, they're in the final stages of that. I touched base with them late last week, and we look to get that concluded here pretty quickly.
As we thought, we have a property that's got a driveway or something on our property, is that true? I thought I saw something come through a few days ago,
Yeah,
a week or so ago.
Jeff made a suggestion about handling it a little bit differently than we're initially thinking that we could do. We talked about giving them, but Jeff said for, resale purposes, it made better sense to give them a permanent right of way, is that what he called it? He had a suggestion anyway, so once we get the survey back, we'll bring his language forward. I asked him to put it in email because I know he didn't say it right.
It's the same on the survey, like they'll show that, but they won't solve that.
But I expect,
Yeah.
I don't expect them to solve it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Jeff had a suggestion for us, and then we can talk to our legal counsel and see if it
Do
makes
one, do
sense.
one.
Yeah.
Just one more, Grange Building,
Grange building is just shut down right now.
do we do something with the trees and?
The trees are actually going down tomorrow. So the last time we met, you gave me approval, and tomorrow's the day. So you'll see some police activity out there, because they'll have detail with the proximity of those trees. I spoke with the Grange, people, after the last meeting, and they could kind of see that we weren't gonna reopen those doors to them. They've been very polite, and I kind of would expect at some point in time, maybe them showing up to a meeting, getting on an agenda, and seeing what happens from here on out. But as of right now, the doors are just shut.
Okay. We had talked about putting a small committee together to decide what to do with that building. I mean, I think we can do is go see what the town wants to do. I don't know, but
You may want to just have a public hearing too, and publicize that, and then people come and comment. I know someone did call me, I don't know, it was Steve.
Steve, I get the names wrong, but there are two
Yeah.
that are very involved
Yeah.
in the building.
So Steve, we had left each other messages back and forth, and I told him there hadn't been any decisions at this point, but I thought you would be seeking public input at some point.
I just,
Jim Batchelder and Steve Howard.
I don't know, I can go with one of those. We can talk about, I just don't know if we want to be stewards of that building, period. That if people want something done with that building, let the town take it and let them do with it as they please.
Well,
I
the
don't-
town didn't take the school, why did they take the branch?
Historic building, it's supposed to school one too, but Grange is one room schoolhouse, historic building, we think if the town wants it preserved, they should be willing to take it.
Is it Grange being?
I don't think they've got the
They in here.
Grange,
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how, I don't know how that would work. We could give it to them or not. That would tell them.
When we sold it outright, pretty much, where is the property the fenced-in area, that's it.
About a third of an acre.
So if you
With the
sold it,
building on
that, you know, somebody wanted to put a business in there or something like that, I mean, that would be a part of it. You know, to the right.
Right, yeah, or if that development, like, buy it, just
A little,
Demolish that building and have more yards.
have more frontage, yeah.
They could have their association meetings there.
Yeah, no,
no?
you know,
I mean, do we wanna go approach the town and how successful we've been?
It probably makes sense, I
Yeah.
mean, since we did it the first time with the school, we might as well go to the
Yeah.
town.
Want me to reach out to Peter and say?
Oh, by all means.
Thank you. I love you.
I don't wanna speak for other people, but I'm sure that
Then I want it.
you're not gonna want it, but you
More
can
money,
always
well,
contact your other supervisor.
I mean, if the town doesn't wanna take it, we're gonna be in the same situation we're in with the middle school.
A warrant article.
Right, I mean, put it on the,
Yeah.
I mean, this board here currently has no desire to do anything with it. They're not gonna put any money in that building.
No. But,
I mean, the historical aspect of it for, you know, maybe the kids at Hill School, if, you know, you know, and I'm just spitballing here, as far as, if nobody wants it, you know, maybe fix it up a little bit so the kids can go in and see what a one-room schoolhouse is like.
We have the other one down at Town Hall.
yeah, it's already.
Have you been in it?
No, you? On a tight date. All right, so I'll reach out to Tina and see if she wants to, you know, discuss the matter. Maybe on the agenda, just throw it out there for them.
And then we can go through.
So one more update while you're going down that route. The last time we met, you gave me the okay to start working on some ADA fixes. Or more so to have them drawn up. So that happens this week as well, where we get we've done a walkthrough, but, Friday we'll do our first real walkthrough and our first formal talking of what needs to be done and how we're gonna go about that.
So, but FAU.
So SAU, entrance, and I'll forget something, but FAU entrance, bathrooms down in the basement, the auditorium and the stage to the auditorium. While we were going that route, we threw in the cooking room as well. There's some possible ramp issues within the building, those are debatable, so we wanna solve if there are issues or if there aren't. There's a set of triple doors, which is considered one of the entrances to the auditorium. Those are out of code, so we know those are an issue. And there might be one or two more things, but all those things are within the compound of Pembroke Academy and the FAU.
Most of those were identified when we did that facility study.
Yeah, most of them are identified.
Yep.
Not all, but most of them. So we'll really start making some headway on what those issues are and what we need to do to resolve.
Out of curiosity, with the SAU building in particular, those doors are really tough to open. Is that something that you all are looking at as well? I know that there's a
The
lot.
doors, you would get a new set of doors.
Okay.
Just in general,
Just
with the remake of that area.
okay, perfect,
Those doors will not last.
good. They're brutal. Yeah.
I know that pipe.
Anything else? No? Board needs to go into non-public session under New Hampshire RSA 91-A:3, semicolon 2, B.
Yep.
Yeah. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes. I think we're good.